What's the one thing that gamers love more than actually playing video games? If you guessed tech, you were right. No, it's not Doritos or Mountain Dew or anything like that. I'd say that tech is probably one of the most popular things within the gaming community. And as you may know, CES, or the Consumer Electronics Show, just wrapped up over in Vegas, and loads of cool and awesome new stuff has been announced, released. We've learned new information about release dates and prices for all sorts of new pieces of tech. So today I'm going to go over what I think are the most 3 innovative pieces of technology that were announced over at CES, and it just so happens that all 3 of these pieces of tech are made by Razer. So first up, we have the Stargazer web camera. Now looking at it, you can kind of already see why this camera is unique. Instead of just having one single lens, like for example a Logitech C920, this camera has 3 cameras that are used to 3D scan the user and remove the background from the video, pretty much negating the need for a green screen. You can just take yourself out of the image and put it on top of something, almost like you have nothing behind you. And that's pretty much what streamers and YouTubers use a green screen for, so they can put themselves on top of gameplay without having like the back of their room or anything like that in the background. Makes it look very, very professional. This is going to be incredibly useful for, as I mentioned, streamers and YouTubers. It just makes it a bit more simple, and it could also make it a little bit more cost effective. If you think about it, when you use a green screen, you have to have the green screen, something to hold it up, then you have to have sufficient lighting to make sure that the lighting's evenly balanced. Whilst that lighting's on, it's likely to heat up the room, make you more hot and sweaty, and with this webcam, maybe all you're going to need is just some lighting so that you look lit up so people can see you. So the $200 retail price actually almost kills quite a lot of birds with one stone. You get a camera, a decent camera at that. It's going to be very reliable with the Intel technology that it's got in there. You get a decent camera that can record at 30 FPS 1080p or 60 FPS 720p. You also get the ability to pull yourself out of the image, so that means that you then don't need a green screen or lighting or anything like that. So for $200, you're actually getting quite a lot for your money. Third on the list, we have the Naboo Watch. Now, in my opinion, this is a smartwatch perfected. This is a watch that puts being a timepiece as its priority and being a phone accessory as its next biggest priority. And it does both of them pretty well. So looking at it, it has one traditional backlit watch screen that contains basic information like the time, the date, timer, stopwatch, pretty much everything that you would desire from a standard digital watch. And then on top of that, it also has a secondary OLED screen which has smart information like your calories burned, steps taken, the amount of hours that you've slept, a lot of fitness stuff, and it also gives you notifications like text messages, social media. Any notifications that you would get on your phone also appear on this secondary OLED screen on the bottom. Now I think what's really interesting about this watch is the battery life. Most smartwatches like the Apple Watch and like the LG smartwatches and the Samsung ones, their batteries only tend to last a day if you're lucky, if you don't use it that much. Whereas this watch has a 12 months battery life on the watch screen and a 7-day battery life on the OLED screen. That's miles better than what the other smartwatches are able to deliver, especially when you consider that the watch screen can be left on continuously for 12 months. That's a hell of a lot better than the around 2.5 hours that an Apple Watch can stay on for. And also you don't even need to gesture it. You need to gesture for the secondary screen, but you're not going to be looking at the secondary screen as much as you are the primary screen. I know when I will look at my watch to find out what time it is, I want to see the time. I don't want to have to flick my wrist and do some janky maneuver just to find out what time it is. It's just painful and irritating, and it uses energy, which is what I don't have a lot of. So anything that can save me energy is good in my books. It does seem like it's kind of more tailored towards fitness people, with it showing calories and steps and all that sort of stuff. It can be paired with the Naboo app that is already out and used with the Razer Naboo. This just combines a basic Razer Naboo with a watch, and I think it's going to be pretty snazzy when it comes out. The base model is $150 for a plastic version and $200 for a metal version. Very interesting stuff. And now here's what I think is possibly the most interesting thing to come out of CES this year. We've seen a couple of these products, but I think Razer are the ones who are going to be the ones who bring it to the mainstream. They brought out the new Razer Blade, which is basically just a new laptop, a new notepad laptop for people to use for work and stuff. But here's the interesting part. It's small, 12.5 inches. It's got a very powerful Intel Skylake processor. Comes in a variety of different models with up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, multiple different storage options, up to I think 750 gigabytes of M.2 storage, so very, very fast. It's got a Thunderbolt port on the side of it, which is where things get interesting, because what you can also buy with this Razer Blade is a new product called the Razer Core. Now what this basically is, it's just a big chassis for an external full-sized graphics card. Now the Thunderbolt port on the left-hand side of the new Razer laptop allows you to plug in this Razer Core into the laptop, meaning that at home you can keep your Razer Core and its big chassis. You can take your laptop to work, go over and use it for emails, Photoshop, maybe some light editing work. Then you can come home, you want to play some video games, for example. You plug in your Razer Core using the Thunderbolt port, and now you have the power of a full desktop graphics card plugged into your laptop. So for example, I could have my very powerful GTX 5000 graphics card plugged into my Razer Core at home. I come home from a hard day of work, not that I do much of it anyway. I come home just put my laptop on my desk, plug in the Razer Core, and I now have the power to play whatever game I want. Witcher 3 Ultra Graphics, whatever I want to do, I can play a game using the Razer Core. Now this, for me, is really, really cool, and I think it opens up a lot of opportunities for people who want to actually get into the PC market. The PC market has been something that's grown exponentially over the past few years. You can see this from just the amount of Steam users that there are using Steam. It's gone up by millions in the past few years, and I know that when I was considering getting into PC gaming 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now, one of the big barriers was the fact that I couldn't already use the hardware that I had in a new PC. I had a laptop. I initially researched, when I wanted to start playing games on the PC, whether I could just buy an external graphics card and plug it into my laptop, because I already had a processor, a power unit, and all that sort of stuff inside of my laptop. Why couldn't I just use that? Well, with this solution, you can. Fair enough, you have to buy the Razer laptop for it to work. I think that's where this technology is kind of still being held back. You still have to buy the specialist laptop technology for the Razer Core to work. But I think if more and more base laptops start to incorporate a Thunderbolt 3 port, which is capable of up to 40 gigabit per second transfer speeds, I think external graphics card enclosures really could be something that brings the PC market into the future. I'm not saying that this is an original idea by Razer, because I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure that MSI had a sort of version of this, where it was like just a big box that you came home and it had a PCI Express 3.0 connector on like the back of the base of the laptop, and you came home and you stuck it on the box, and then the box contained your graphics card that would then transfer the power of the graphics card to the laptop. So this has been done before, and I'm pretty sure that Asus have their own version of this. They showed that off at CES as well. But I think Razer are almost like the Apple of PC gaming. Like, if you looked at smartwatches 3 years ago, there were Android smartwatches. You could buy an Android smartwatch, but then it was this year, or last year I should say, when Apple brought out the Apple Watch, the smartwatches finally came into their own and started to get to the mainstream. They started to become popular. And with that, Android smartwatches have also, sales of those have actually gone through the roof, just because Apple got it into the public's mind that smartwatches did have a place within the tech community. So I think that Razer are almost like the Apple of this situation, that they are the people who are going to bring external GPU support to the mainstream. Now they're just 3 of the awesome new things that have been announced at CES this year, and if you've seen some other cool tech that's been announced at CES this year, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And also let me know if you enjoy this other sort of style of video, whether you just like me talking about tech as well as video games, because by all means, I can start doing tech videos for days. Tech is one of my hobbies, so combine that with video games, I'm a happy person if I can bring you content in terms of that. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because this video is getting way too long. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next video.